Hello, it's Friday night, and this is Tabletop Baseball. I am your host, Tenacious Earl, and we have another game here in the Tenacious Baseball League version 2.0, the 2016 season. In this game, we will have the Toronto Blue Jays, who lost in their first game. They'll go up against the Los Angeles Angels, who won their first game, obviously, because they're playing a 3-game series. So it follows that they faced off against each other, and the Angels won. They actually won that game 17-3, as the Angels kicked a couple extra kicked a couple of extra points and a field goal to add into the 2 touchdowns they got to pull out that victory. All that Toronto could muster was a relatively short one. They couldn't punch it in from the 2-yard line. Anyway, enough of the stupid football stuff. So we are in game day 2 overall. Spread out. First game day was spread out over May 1st and May 2nd in virtual 2016. This is May 3rd. 2 games have been played already. If you had watched the first game of the game that was played, I guess it would have been Wednesday night. And actually, I'm having a tough time remembering because I'm having so much fun. The Marlins. Hold on. That was game 1. What am I doing? So in game 1, the Marlins beat the Orioles, and I believe the Orioles beat the Marlins in game 2, but I want to double check. And I don't know where that page went. So, the Orioles beat the Marlins, I remember. And in the game that I played a game last night, I posted the results on YouTube. It shows you what kind of a commissioner I am. I just can't remember. Actually, just kind of shows you that I'm getting old. All right, so as you can see here, and I have come up with I've sort of revised my score sheet, so you'll see some things here that are a little different. But if you look here, Oakland defeated Detroit 12-2, a quite thorough manhandling of Motown's men there. The Athletics kind of small-balled their way around, got a couple in the first. They did get one long ball from Chris Davis, his first on the season. Then they got so that made it 4-0, then 6. Got up to 6-0 in the fourth, including. So Danny Valencia was driven in on a 2-out triple by Billy Burns, and then, I don't know, I guess I got a little gutsy and decided to send Burns from third on the straight steal of home, and on a 1-5 roll he got a 4. So that made it 6-0, and the rout was on. They got another 6 in the 7th inning, but your winner in that was Kendall Graveman. So lost Anibal Sanchez. So like I said, in this game we have the Blue Jays and the Angels. You got Jay Happ up against Jared Weaver. Lefty versus righty. And give me a moment while I bring up the chat room here. So give me a second. See, this still did not do what it was supposed to do. Alright, let's see. Alright. Hold on a second. I've got something that is being goofy for me, and once I get that sorted out, I will be of more. Okay, there we go. Good. Now I'll start being of a little more engaging. Sorry about that. So I've revised my score sheet that I used. This has now some ability to do the super advanced keeping. I also took a couple of, so let's see, let me get to the live chat. Hi, Tribe Fan, Ken, Derek, D. Smith. So, that's just happy to see you all out here. D. Smith, not much up, just some Stratomatic Baseball. So, just some real quick stuff here. Score sheet, I have enough for 12 innings. Now, if you notice here, now, the next one that I use will be a little better. I printed this out, and what I tried to do is use a font color that was a little lighter, and it got a lot lighter. So as you can see here, the numbers are rather light, so bear with me as we go. It's some of the fonts and stuff. All the lines are up there, but the fonts are. So I have a 12-inning score pad here. So some places, I think the Bob Carpenter scorebook, if you've ever seen that, it looks like a really cool scorebook for just scoring, whether it's baseball, whether it's Stratomatic, whatever. I took a little liberty here and tried to devise a different defensive sort of quadrant here. So this is, if anybody wants a copy of this to try themselves, they're welcome. I can forward it to you. I'm using this for the defensive team. So the Blue Jays will be facing this defense here. So you could do it either way. You could put the Blue Jays defense here and the Angels down at the bottom, or vice versa. So this is the Angels here. I have room for 6 additional batters underneath here to go with the one beneath each batter here. I've customized this for my projects. These TBL projects, I have a little way of sort of keeping track of the way things are going. So as you can see here, I've got some little nomenclature with that. I have enough for 6, the starter and 5 relief pitchers, which I like. I also have a place here for the injury rating, so I can write this down. It's good to know that. Okay, another thing about the batters, I've removed the defensive ratings from here, which I used to have. Instead, it's only the running rating. If anybody wants one like this for regular old advanced, I could probably cut down on the width of this and add an extra little bit of length for a stealing rating, and then just try to kind of combine the two and split them, because this is kind of extra wide here for the running rating. I could do that. And so again, the additional batters were kind of like that. All right, so I'm anticipating injuries in this because I'm using injuries. So both teams have a place here where I can, and I forgot. Oh man, I didn't change that, I bet. Oh no, I meant to put this as home. Well, I made a bunch of copies of this, so there's always a flaw, and there's a way here. This is meant to be home. Always a flaw somewhere. But so there's a place here to put injuries for both away and home, and a place to put the number of games that they're injured for next to the G. And there's a box score. And anyway, so that's it. Let's get going. I have not determined ballpark and weather effects yet, so give me a moment as I get my chart out here. We will be going with the Reds, with the Angels being the home team. Lots of red there. And so we are in LA, and this is a night game in May, excuse me. Night game in May, so a 20 would be a bad day. So not very likely. 18, so that will be an average, which is 2s and 6s for Angel Stadium. So right here I've got the ballpark, so I could put 2s here and 6s here, left and right, if anybody has never seen that before. And so we are ready to go. Also, for the pitchers, we'll say usage, you could put either the team that is, so this could either be for the batting team or for the team that they're facing. I'm going to use it for the batting team, at least for now, but it's up to you. It's entirely up to you. So, Alrighty. Let me see any other things. Jared Weaver from Simi Valley, 20 minutes from Derek. That's nice. Let's see. About to play game 107 of Indians Replay. Tribe Fan is deep into this Indians Replay. He's been playing it for as long as I can remember. And congratulations on getting this far. I'm going to try to get back into the Phillies soon. So I felt like the need to take a little bit of a respite from that, and so I did. And I think it probably was I don't want to say well received, but in general, I think it was time for a slight break in that. So we'll get back to it soon. Let's see what else. Probably January, February. Okay, so D. Smith is like, let's roll. So let's roll, yes. So for the Blue Jays, their rest roll included the second baseman Devin Travis and Jose Bautista. Travis did not need to be rested, but because going up against a righty, I decided, and because Ryan Goins played a lot early in the season, we're going to go with him. Not a great card, but he is a lefty, so he may get some hits there off of Jared Weaver. So, and in right, it'll be Ezekiel Carrera. He'll get his first start of the season. Ryan Goins at second. Josh Donaldson at third base. Edwin Encarnacion at first. Troy Tulowitzki shortstop. Michael Saunders left. Russell Martin catching. Kevin Pillar center. And Jay Happ will be the pitcher. He has hitting card number 3. I toyed with the idea of moving Kevin Pillar up, and maybe I should have. I guess we'll find out how they do here. So Carrera against Jared Weaver. 210. And that is a single. So Carrera leads off with a one-bagger. So Carlos Perez. Give me a second here. Let's put the card. There, we'll do that. That's nice. Okay, good. So now you can see these. So Perez is a -2 and Jared Weaver's a +7. So a +5. Carrera, he's one of the guys on this team that that has a penchant to steal. So they're going to hold him on. And with a +5 and then -2, it'd be 1-18. He will try to get a good lead here. You know what? What we're going to do is we're actually going to hit and run with Goins, since Goins has sort of a rough card of it here. So it's going to be a B hit and run. B7. Oh, wait. No, it's a 6-7. So on the hit and run, if it's a 4, 5, or 6, we go off of the pitcher's card. Lefty 6-7. Well, guess what? That is a single to center. And that is... Well, hold on a second. Any single is a single 2-star because Carrera was going. So first and third with nobody out for the Blue Jays. Getting the runner moving. Let's see, plus for the Blue Jays on that chance. Josh Donaldson. (6'9". Jared Weaver a 1. A 6'12 is a problem roll for him. That would be an injury. But 6'9 against a righty. Fly ball to center field. That's going to be deep enough to score Carrera from third base. And that will be a sack. 8. Double check that. Yes. And 1-0 Toronto. Goins has to stay at first. Encarnacion, they will... They're not going to hold Goins. So Encarnacion will swing away. 1-4. Ground ball to second base. Takes it the other way. It's going to be a tough play. Enough of a tough play for Javatella that Goins moves up. That'll be a 4-3 for the second out. And so Goins in the scoring position. Troy Tulowitzki. (5-2) against a righty. Ballpark single. So the ballpark single is a 2. It's got to be a 1 or a 2. and that is a 13. That'll be a line out to short, and that's it for the top of the first. They do pick up a run to get out into the lead. And so we will go to the bottom of the first with the Angels looking to try and respond. Okay, just trying to get everything squared away here. All right. For the Angels, their rest roll was a 2, which means that, what does that mean? That means that it's the shortstop. That was Andrelton Simmons. He did need to be rested. Right fielder Cole Calhoun did not, and Albert Pujols did not. They were both over 600 plate appearances. So, only one real change in the lineup. Well, no, 2 changes. So Escobar leads off again at third base. Johnny Giavotella at second. Mike Trout in center. Albert Pujols first. Cole Calhoun right field. So the first 5 unchanged from their 17-run output the other night. Carlos Perez catching again. Cliff Pennington will be at short. Not a good card against a lefty, but they don't really have any other depth at shortstop currently on the team. Craig Gentry in left, bringing in the right-hander. Daniel Nava is a switch, but we're going to use Gentry in this one. And then the number 1 card for Jared Weaver. So against the lefty, J.A. Happ, Yunel Escobar. 111, ground ball to third, and Donaldson heaves it to first, and that is the first out. Johnny Giavotella, 5-6 against a righty. And another ground ball that Donaldson fields and throws him out. 2 down. Mike Trout, 212. And that's a deep fly ball to center, and that's going to be a tough play, but Pilar gets it, and through 1-0 to the Blue Jays. Let's see, Alexander, hello. How you doing? Let's see. The Russians are trying to influence the outcome of this game. Thanks, Baseball Demos. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope all of you are doing well. We're going to go to the top of the second. Michael Saunders will face Jared Weaver in the second inning here. Yeah, it's a little different, but I like Arby's, and as Arby's will tell you, different is good. 4-11 against a lefty, ground ball to first base. That'll be Pujols. He is a 4-E12. 4-7. That could be trouble. 4-7, and he just barely gets the glove tip on that. And then a 9 on the E12. And unfortunately for the E12, the 9 is a 1-base error. So Saunders reaches on the E3. They will not be holding Saunders on. Russell Martin will come to the plate. 4-9. And there's a 2 on the D20, which means we have to check to see whether it's a balk or passed ball roll. That'll be passed ball roll. And Carlos Perez needs a 1 on the D20 for a passed ball. That's a 17, so that does not come to fruition. So Martin continues his at bat. 2-8, excuse me. 2-8, and that's a fly ball to center, which Trout flags down for the first out. Kevin Pilar, 3-4. No, there comes a rubber band. 3-4. That's a tall pop up to short. And Pennington gets that, and it is, oh, I forgot to roll the D20 there. Let's just give it a quick roll. There's a 3, so, all right. 2 down, and it is J. Happ with the pitcher's hitting card number 3. But a 2-12 is going to be a fly ball to right field, and that will be the final out as Calhoun catches it. And so no runs in the top of the second on no hits, 1 error on Pujols. And he gets a chance to atone for his error right off the bat as he will lead off the bottom of the second. Trying to get everything lined up here is the challenge. Get everything in your shot there. I want everybody to be able to see. All right. Pujols against the lefty. 6'8" against a righty. Now, J. Happ has a 0 injury rating, so he will never get injured unless he is hitting. 6'8" against a righty, and Pujols will get a base hit out of this and maybe a 2-base hit. That's a 13. So a single to lead off the second for the Angels. Cole Calhoun. We're going to go ahead and let Calhoun swing away here. 2-9. 2-9 and... oh, wait. 2-9 is on this side. Still, 2-9 is a good roll for him against the lefty. 1-3 triple. It's a 9. That'll be a single, and Pujols will advance to third, and the Angels are in business here in the bottom of the second. 1-0 Toronto, but looking for a rally here. Carlos Perez. Swing away here, 6'4". Against a righty, 6'4". Catcher X. So your catcher is Russell Martin, 2E1. 2-20. That will be, let's see. That'll be G1. And then 14 on the E1. No error. So that is going to be a... let's see. With first, let's get out the result chart. Let's see. First and third. Well, wait a second. I think this might actually resolve it. Let's see. So G1 with no error. Here we go. G1 with no error. First and third. Infield normal. 4-3 double play. Now the question is, I guess what they're going to do is they're going to take the double play there. It's going to be, I guess, a 2-4-3, and Pujols will come home. That you almost have to wonder on that chance if the catcher is consider him playing in, because I feel like that runner from third is probably not going to move. So I don't know. It doesn't really elaborate a whole lot here. Well, this is the batter or this is the catcher or the pitcher. Those are the only ones that have these symbols. So first and third, DP4-3. Batters out, other runners advance a base. Well, so that's going to be we're going to call it a 2-4-3 double play. Pujols will come in and it's 1-1. So I guess that's the way we're going to play it, and that clears the bases. Cliff Pennington Horrible card against lefties. 6'11". He's batting from the right, and that will be a ballpark single. And in this ballpark is where ballpark singles go to die, and that will be a line out to short. Let me see something here. Let me see. Trying to read some of these things. All right. Well, you guys continue chatting amongst yourselves. I was interested to see if there were any additional insights about that play, because it does seem odd for the runner at third to move, but I guess once the catcher lets it go, you're even a guy like Pujols would be on the run. So, all right, top of the third, and I think I forgot to write down the run. Oh, that's not my pen. This is my pen. 1-1. And so Weaver will face Ezekiel Carrera, who singled and scored in the initial frame. 6'8" against a lefty. And that's a ground ball that Pujols will handle this time. And he will take it first for the out. Hey, Dave S. Ryan Goins, 1 out. 4-7 against a lefty. Draws a walk, so he's been on base twice. I thought it might have been a mistake having him that high in the lineup, but he has at least been serviceable there. With 1 out, they will let Donaldson hit here rather than try to steal or anything. 4-8 against a righty. 4-8, another walk. We were getting a little wild here. First and second with 1 out. Edwin Encarnacion. Can the big man take one deep here? 1-8. 1-8, and he strikes out. First strikeout, and a big one at that for Jared Weaver. 2 down, Troy Tulowitzki. 0 for 1. Lined out to end the first. 5-8 against a righty. And it's a ground ball to second base. X, that'll be Javitella. 4-10. Not holding either runner on. 4-13. That should. So that's a G3. That's good enough as long as he's able to make the play on it. So 8-12 on an E12 at second base, and that is good. So he's able to convert that, and Blue Jays can't make good on those 2 walks, as Encarnacion and Tulowitzki both flame out there in the top of the third. So we're going to the bottom. Still 1-1. Jay Hepp ready to face Craig Gentry. Got a computer-generated card here since he was an uncarded player against the lefty here. Another not such a great card, but in the 3 column he can get a walk. Now that's a 2-4. Ground ball to third base. Donaldson has been busy here. Three assists so far. Jared Weaver. He is batting from the right side. 4-7. Strikes out. Second out, Yuniel Escobar. 1-8. And he draws a walk. Not much of a stolen base threat there. They're not going to hold him on, and it'll be Javitella. Oh for 1. That's a 5-8 against a righty. And that's a ground ball to short, and he is going to take it straight to the bag. No runs. No hits, one left. We will go to the fourth. Still 1-1. Dave S. Oh, so he's working on Strat Basketball in a new super advanced hockey video. Nice. I really need... I don't know. I got so many things I want to pick up. I need money. I'd love to get Strat Football and I'd love to get Strat Hockey. And someday I will get them. But what was I going to say? Dave S., you know what I think of when I see when you always use good day. What I always think of, and you might appreciate it. I don't know if you know them very much. It might be somewhat stereotypical in a way to think of it this way. But the Bare Naked Ladies they're from Toronto and they were big in that area. I heard about them when I went to college in Rochester. A friend of mine was from the Buffalo, like North Tonawanda area, and he had heard them because he listened to Toronto radio. They had a song called "Be My Yoko Ono." In the middle of it, there's I assume it's a guy, one of them trying to sound. I don't know if it's supposed to sound like John Lennon, but in the middle of it, he goes, "G'day." Anyway, when I see you do that, that's what I think of is that "G'day." Anyway. Enough of that banter. I don't know if anybody appreciates music stupidity, but that's one case of it. Michael Saunders reached on an error, 6'9", against a lefty. That's a fly ball to center field. So, Jared Weaver holding strong here. He's a 6-inning weakness guy, 6'7", against a righty, and right there is trouble. Russell Martin will not get a triple if he gets a 1-2. I will forbid it. I am forbidding 1-2 with a runner under the speed of 13. 13 and above, I'll give it to a 12 and under. No way. So because I leveled that threat, it's a single. The die just heard me. I mean, I swear last year, every time there was a chance that would happen with a catcher or something, it would be 1 or 2. So Martin, they're not going to hold him on. I'll tell you what, actually they are going to have to hold him, and he's going to try to get a lead here. But a 7 is going to be no good for getting that lead. So Pilar, they are holding, because this hold rating is not good. They have to hold him on. So Pilar, 2-6. That's a 1-5 single chance. And that is a line out to second base for the second out. Bare Naked Ladies play in your town a lot. What music is in the background? You mean at the beginning of the video or right now? Because that is my son watching SpongeBob. The music that starts this is a random pod-safe music that I found. I love Bare Naked Ladies. Well, I love the band, the Bare Naked Ladies. Let's put that. I'm not going to go into the veracity of the other comment that I just made. So, J-Hap with Russell Martin at first. Well, let's see. They're holding him on. I guess with the pitcher up, you wouldn't take a flyer on that because it's a +5. So a 6 + 5 is 11. -4 is 7. A 1-7 chance. You're going to try to get this lineup turned over. So let's just go ahead and roll with Hap here. And a 1 on the D20 means a potential wild pitch. But Jared Weaver doesn't throw wild pitches, so we're going to just finish it out here with the D6s. And that's a 5-9 against a right. Wait, Happ is a lefty, 5'9" against a lefty, and he is not a normal power guy. But that will be a single, 2 stars, and maybe we should. I don't know. That's the quandary there. If you run with Martin, you might end up out of the inning. You don't run with him. If he had gotten there, that would have scored him. So Ezekiel Carrera now, he is 1 for 2. First and third, 2 down. They will not hold either runner on. 3-5, and he strikes out to end that rally. SpongeBob rocks. He might. Let's see. Wish I could import C&D hockey. Oh, not me, but somebody. Where is the Diet Mountain Dew? The Diet Mountain Dew is right here. And more of it is in the fridge, which is good. It is very good. Keeps me rocking even when my mind and body are not quite ready to do so. All right. Some people use illicit substances. I just use caffeine. How about that? Mike Trout. 0 for 1. He had a pretty big game there last time. 2-6. And he flies out to center. And that's Kevin Pillar out there manning the middle of the outfield. And Albert Pujols singled and scored in the second inning. 6-7 against a righty. Ground ball to second base. X. That will be Goins, who he may not hit so well, though he is 1 for 1 with a walk tonight. But he does field pretty well. 1 E15. 1 and 12 is a G1, no problem there. And then a 13 on the E15. Now that could be a problem. E15 and 13. Nope. He is able to convert that for the second out. Still 1-1. Cole Calhoun. He hit a 3-run blast in the first game of the series, a 1-8. And he strikes out. So 1 for 2 after that. K. Still 1-1. So slugfest for the Angels in the last game, and now things are getting a little quieter on the fireworks front. Okay, let's see anything else. Root beer. Never played Strat PC version, only cards and dice. Yeah, I'll tell you, I have the PC version, and I've thought about it, and I feel like it. I feel like if I'm going to do it, I need to invest in playing it, and it's going to take away from investing in this. So I'm just holding back. Diet Dr. Pepper is pretty good. Root beer is pretty good. Cinco de Mayo has a way of bringing out the drinking. Yes, well, I will say there is one more, not to endorse any brand, but there is one more of these in the fridge. I have not yet broken that one open yet. So, all right. Here we go. Top of the fifth. Ryan Goins. He's reached both times. Will he do it again? 2-9. No, he will not. That's going to be a ground out to Javatella. Josh Donaldson, the bringer of rain. 1-9. No rain to be brought here. He just strolls on down to first. Edwin Encarnacion with 1 out. Maybe looking to hit one towards the great Pacific Ocean here. I'm not real familiar with the way that Angel Stadium is configured. I may be completely talking out my rear end there. 6-7 against a righty, and the 6-7 is again. Now again, we are not going to triple this guy, but we would do a double with potential for a third base advance if it's a 1 or a 2 here. It's a 4. That'll be a single. First to third goes Donaldson. That's my own little rule. I feel like it's so cheap to get a triple when it's a poor runner. But I guess the other thing I could say is if there's a triple anywhere on somebody's card here, and I don't see it. Did he get any triples at all here? No triples. Why would I give him a triple when he hasn't had a triple in 2016? Let me see. The other one was what? Russell Martin? Did he have a triple? No. Why would I give him a triple? All right, first and third. Fifth inning, 1 out. Do they play in? They're going to play with the... They're going to play at double play depth. They're not going to hold either runner on. And they are not going to play in. It's going to be Tulowitzki. 110. And that's a foul out on the left side. That'll be third baseman Escobar who grabs that, and that's a big out. Brings up Michael Saunders needing a base hit to score this run now. That's a 4 on the D20. That is a 6-11 against a lefty. Ground ball to the pitcher. Jared Weaver a 5. So keep that in mind. Now, a runner at third as well. The infield is in, although I don't think it really matters with 2 outs. But let's see. 5-E-8. Could get interesting here. But a 5 and a 13 for the pitcher is a G3. So let's see what happens on his E8. And what is that, 14? And he is able to make the out, convert that, and the top of that inning will be over. Through 4.5, still 1-1. Thought we were going to maybe get a fielding blunder by Jared Weaver there, but no such luck for the Blue Jays. We're going to go to bottom of the 5th. Let's see. Mothers against drunk dice rolling. Yes. It's all about responsibility, folks. Here, I got to point the finger at all of you out there. It's all about responsibility. You better not be drunk dice rolling. You can have 1 beer, maybe, but it better not be any of that real strong, double IPA stuff, or else, your mother is going to come down to the base. Well, never mind. Let's not go there. Sorry if I've offended anybody. I am one of you. I figured it was Friday night. It was time for some finger wagging. All right. Carlos Perez, bottom of the 5th. Against the lefty. 2-11. He fouls out to the catcher. Martin catches that. 1 down. Cliff Pennington, who has as many hit rolls on his left side of the card as I have innings of Major League action. 3-8, and we know what that's going to be. 3-8. Well, we don't know exactly what it's going to be. We know it's going to be an out. That's a fly ball to center, so at least he gets it out of the infield this time. That brings up Craig Gentry. (6-7) against a righty. Ground ball to second base. It was a third base. I thought he was on that the last time. So third base is Donaldson. Or wait, no. What did I say? Second base. Goins, 1E15. And 1 and 11 is no problem, and the 13 on the E15. No error, so 4-3. And Weaver will get another inning here. Would have been an interesting thought if somebody had gotten on base whether to keep going with Weaver. But he has done pretty well. He got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits. Looks like 3 walks to me. So he's held his own here. Hasn't given up the big inning yet. His 5.06 ERA. He had a 500 record. So we'll see if he can keep going here. Of course, he kind of lucked out on he got this end home run roll, but with let's see, who was that? That would have been that might have been J.A. Happ who got that. So Russell Martin, top of the 6th, 1-1, 4-6 against a righty, 4-6, and he may lead off with a single here. Is it going to sneak through, or is it going to be grabbed by Pennington? And it does get through just under his glove. And so, Russell Martin, 2 for 3. Kevin Pillar. Tell you what, let's get, it's the bottom of the order. Let's get old Russell Martin moving here. We're going to hit and run. It's a C hit and run. They're not holding him on. So it's only a C. C8. Trying to be a little bit aggressive here. C8. And that's going to move the runner up. You don't want to look at what 2.8 is on the, maybe you do, I don't know, anyway. So maybe we overmanaged it there a little bit. That will be a U3 takes it himself. And Martin does move up, but gives it out away. It's going to be J. Happ now. So let's see what happens. 1-7. Ground ball to second base. That will be a play that moves Martin up. The pluses mean nothing in Super Advanced unless you are playing the infield in, which they were not. So Ezekiel Carrera with a runner 90 feet away with 2 outs. 5-9. 5-9 against a lefty. And a normal power. That one is long, and that one is gone. Ezekiel Carrera takes it out of the park. 2-run home run. And the Blue Jays take a 3-1 lead as Carrera, with 2 outs, turns one around on Jared Weaver. And here in the 6th, the Blue Jays are going to be ahead by 2. Clears the bases. So Ryan Goins 2-6, and he strikes out. That will end the inning. But Blue Jays get a huge 2-run home run from Ezekiel Carrera. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 6th, and the Angels are undoubtedly going to get their bullpen working. And pinch hit here for Jared Weaver. Weaver having a good game so far, but that time he just grooved it a little too much, and that one took the short way home. Let's see, so I didn't fill in the rest of that last game. Let's see, who pitched for them? Rasmus pitched 2 innings, so Rasmus is likely unavailable. They will get So let's see, what do they got? They got 3 righties coming up. So they will go with Joe Smith. Joe Smith will be ready to go there for the Angels. So now we just need to decide who is going to come in to pinch hit against Hap. And it'll be C.J. Cron. All right, so and he is a 10 runner. All right. So let's get this going. We need Hap's card. So this is Hap's inning of weakness. Of course, he has only given up 2 hits so far in the game, so keep that in mind. So Cron, 6'9" against a righty. And 6'9" against a righty. This thing has got a chance here, 1-10. And it's not going to go, but that will be a leadoff double for Crone? I don't know. And so the Angels in business now. Just giving up 2 runs. Yuniel Escobar going to swing away here. And a 1 on the D20 means we got to check for a wild pitch. J. Happ is a 1-3. And it is a 3. Cron will get the 3rd on the wild pitch. Everyone needs to go. Let's see. Oh, everyone needs to go to the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I want to take my kids there. Definitely. So we will roll again here. Because there was a wild pitch, we roll the D20 again. Escobar. 212. 212, and he draws a walk. And the Blue Jays are going to have to start getting their bullpen ready to go. They are going to get Joe Biagini working, which means that he will be unavailable next game once he comes into pitch. Giavotella with 1st and 3rd, nobody out. .49 against a righty. And a walk loads the bases. That is Happ's ending a point of weakness. And that is going to be curtains for him. He is going to be pulled. And they're going to bring in Biagini to face Mike Trout. What a test for him right here. And Jared Weaver stands to be the victor if somehow the Angels find a way to bring this back at this point. Happ goes 5 innings, and it looked like he was cruising, and then all of a sudden he's kind of gushing there. So let's Mike Trout against Biagini. Bases loaded. They're going to play the infield back. They're hoping for 2. 5-7 against a righty. And he strikes out Trout. Wow, big strikeout. 1 down, brings up Albert Pujols, and I forgot to roll the D20. Let's give that a quick fling there. All right. So Pujols, with the bases loaded. Again, they're playing double play. They're looking for that turning 2. 4-7 against a righty. Strikes him out. Wow, 2 big strikeouts for Biagini, and here comes Cole Calhoun. Are they going to leave the bases loaded? And the pitch. 3-11 and a 1 on the D20 means a potential wild pitch. 1-9 scores a run here, and everybody moves up. It's a 16, no wild pitch. And actually, that was a 3-11, just for the record. So, new life for Cole Calhoun with that. 6-7 against the lefty. Ground ball to second. That will be Goins, who is a 1E15. So unless it's an error roll, Biagini's going to pitch out of this inning. A 7. 1 and a 7 is a G1. And then the 15 and an 11. And he throws to first and makes the play. And that is a Houdini act by Joe Biagini. 2 strikeouts and a ground out to finish that inning off. And what a turnaround. No runs on a hit and 2 walks by Happ. And we will go to the 7th. Happ still, he is the pitcher of record, and a big, big place there for Biagini to come through on that. Now, who did I take this out of? I must have taken that out on... So, Cron will be... a Mets fan. That's no problem. I won't hold it against you that you're a Mets fan. I'm just kidding. Don't think that I would ever hold it against anybody that they're a Mets fan. Oh, wait. Yeah, we were going to bring Joe Smith in, so that's what we're going to do. And I forgot to bring Biagini. That could throw a wrench into things. That was a 6-7. As long as Biagini is not a 6, and he's a 1, so that's fine. That's funny. We got 5-7, 4-7, and 6-7. And so Joe Smith for the Angels is... Where are you, Joe Smith, for the Angels? You must be on the extra. So he's a 2. So that means a 6-11. Okay, how y'all doing out there? We've got some good baseball action coming along here. Ready to go, top of the 7th, 3-1 Blue Jays, but plenty of firepower in this Angels lineup. But there's also firepower with the Blue Jays as well, and Josh Donaldson, former MVP, can do it here. 5-6 against a righty, and he strikes out. For the first out, Edwin Encarnacion. 1 for 3 on the day. 4-8 against a righty. And a 1-6. 30% chance at a single. And it's going to be a ground ball to third. And Escobar throws over to Pujols for the second out. And now Tulowitzki. 3-3. Ballpark single, and this is again a tough place to hit a ballpark single. It is it's a 2 from each side, and so you got to have a 1 or a 2, and it's going to be a 6, so that will be a line out to short. 1-2-3 inning for Joe Smith. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 7th with the Angels looking for that rally monkey that they used to taunt so much in that year that they went to the World Series and won. Had a guy who is pitching, who is closing for another team in this league as their closer during that season. That was Francisco K-Rod Rodriguez. He's closing, I believe, for the Tigers in this league. Is that correct? Let's see. Yes. So, Biagini will pitch another inning. He is rated for 2. And since he can't pitch next game anyway, we'll just write him out. Carlos Perez. He is 0 for 2. 3-7. Ground ball to second base. Oh, so you guys wanted to sing along during the stretch. I've already caught heck for that before, so. 1-6. And there's a single for Pennington. He is 1 for 3 on the day. Trust me, if this is my channel, if I want to sing, I'm going to sing, but right now I'm not going to sing. Craig Gentry, 0 for 2. Let's see. Let's see, is there anything worth... kind of feel like pinch hitting for this guy, but you know what, let's see, what do they have that they can use in left? Nava's not too great either, but I'll tell you what, we're gonna make a little play here. We're gonna go with Ji-Man Choi. Not a great option either. So, and he is a 12. At least he has some entries there that he can pull from. Gentry, there are very few entries for Gentry. How about that? You like that? You like that. I know you do. Pennington, what can Pennington do? Can he run? Not very much. So Ji-Man Choi against Biagini. (3-4). Ballpark home run. That is a 1 to 6 chance. Could they tie this ball game on the ballpark home run? And it is gone. Ji-Man Choi with the pinch hit home run. And what was Toronto thinking? They could have brought in a relief pitcher, and they should have probably. And asleep at the wheel, Biagini. Of course, that's not really his fault, but you take that away if you bring in a lefty against Ji-Man Choi. And it is now 3-3. And they will pinch hit for Joe Smith. That'll be Nava. What is this? It's 7th. See if Toronto's manager gets any flack for not changing pitchers there. I don't know. I tend to try and play it simple at times and not go back and forth. But man, that really snuck up on me there. So Nava will face Biagini here. 2 runs across, 1 out. And we didn't need to roll the D20 there because there's nobody on base. 2-7. That's a line out to first. 2nd out. Yaniel Escobar. 2 walks. Otherwise 0 for 1. 4-8 against a righty. And he draws a walk. That brings up Javatella. (4-8) against a righty. Another walk. Boy, I swear I shook those up, but that's a repeat. Brings up Mike Trout. And let me see here. This is his 2nd inning of work. We can't go anymore with Biagini, can we? he's a 2 rated, and that's his second inning work. That's actually his. He had already hit his point of weakness, so they're gonna have to go back to their bullpen. Kind of rolling along here, and so they're gonna go with. Let's see, who did they use in their previous game? Chavez, Floyd. Well, Floyd is no longer available. Well, they're gonna go with Jason Grilly. Grilly is a 1 injury guy. Biagini goes 1 2/3. Tough game for him. He had a really nice get out of jail card there that he played, but his manager probably should have taken him out a little sooner, and so Grilly is going to be in here to face Trout. Try to get out of this jam. First and second, 2 down. And the big guy here looking to do some real damage. He's over 3. That is a 5-4 against a righty. Fly ball to center field. That is going to be Kevin Pillar out there. 1-7. 11. That should be just fine. A 1 is going to have just about everything fine, if not everything. As long as you don't end up with the E7 catching you with this 11 total. And it does not. So that will end the inning. Really gets them out of that. But it's 2 runs, and we're going to have a 3-3 game going to the 8th. Let's see. Rolling the dice. Wow, a 1 when you needed it. Yep. That's the trouble one. So let's see. So we pinch hit for. So we've got to do a little bit of jockeying here. Let's see. What can we do? Well, this is what we can do. We got to look at what the Angels have available. They have Actor. Rasmus is probably not available unless they get in a real pinch. They're going to go with Actor, who has a longer rating, and what they want to do is they want to try and use him for 2 innings. So I think what we are going to do here is they have Andrelton Simmons, since it is the 8th, they can have him move into the 2 hole here. Or no. No, what we're gonna do is we're gonna put Simmons here. So that's going to be in the 9D spot. So right here. And he's going to play it short in the 8th. So Simmons is going to be down here. Now we're going to put the pitcher spot. It's going to be P3. He is going to go there under Giavotella. Pennington is going to move to second base. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have to make some quick adjustments and so AJ Actor will be pitching for the Angels, and Actor is a 1. I'll put this up here for now. I got to turn on my fan. It is getting warm in here. Whew. That's way too much. All right, let me just get, I got to get settled down here with so Weaver went 6 innings. And then 3 for Smith on a 1-inning jobber. So then Actor, I'm not going to bother with the pitcher's defense, but we're going to put 1 E14 here. And then we've got to find, get Javatella out of here. The pitcher's card goes in there, and then we go and find Choi is going to play in, you know what? Yeah, so Choi is going to have to play in left. And he is a 5 + 2 E15. And then you've got Pennington plays second base now, and he is a 2 E. Where are you at? Boy, I'm 2 E4. All right, and Nava gets out of there. So there's Simmons. He goes right there. All right, I'm set now. I got myself a little bit. I think it's easier when you aren't having to deal with all these cards. So Nava is done. They're basically getting close to being out of pinch hitters. So Actor really does need to pitch for a couple innings here. And of course they have Saunders coming up, who's a lefty. So you're not going to get the matchup there first. But then you'll have Martin and Pilar. So Michael Saunders against AJ Actor. And I need to put these. Top of the 8th, 3-3 game. 4-3 against a lefty. Ground ball to first. That's going to be Encarnacion. No, not Encarnacion. That's going to be Pujols, 4E12. 4-4. That's going to be a base hit for Saunders. That is going to be a single. And then a 5-7 on the E12. And that's not an error, but Saunders does reach on the single. Glances off of Pujols' glove. It would have been a very tough play for him. But so Russell Martin now. Angels hoping for a double play ball. 3-4. And he strikes out. Kevin Pilar. Michael Saunders, I don't think he has a steal rating, does he? He does have a little one. Actor, and they're not going to be able to steal with him. They're not going to try. 5-4 against a righty. Ballpark single. 1-2. It's going to be a line out to the shortstop Simmons, who's just in the game. And so then the pitcher spot is up, and they are going to figure out who they're going to pinch hit with. And with nobody on base, they will go with You're going to go ahead and pitch hit with Devin Travis at the moment. Still got another guy there on the bench, but we're going to hold him out until it makes more sense. Travis has a pretty good number 1 column anyway. Although one could argue that this would probably be a pretty good time to use Joey Bats with a runner at first. Double scores him probably. Pinch hitting in the 8th. We're going to go ahead and use Travis. So Devin Travis pinch hits for Grilly. A 1 on the D20, so that could. Well, there's no wild pitch rating for AJ Actor, so no wild pitch. So here is Travis again, 5-7 against a righty in a walk. That brings the runner into scoring position. And in the 8th, that brings up an interesting dilemma. Carrera is 2 for 4. They're gonna go ahead and pinch hit for Carrera with Jose Bautista. So here we go. Bautista gonna face Actor here. 2 outs. Runners at first and second. 6-10 against a righty. Ground ball to third base. That is Yuniel Escobar. He is a 4E25. 4 and an 8. G3. Now they weren't holding on Saunders, so that will and he's at third base anyway, so it's still a G3. Now it's the E25 and 14. Oh, and they catch a break. It's a 13, but not a 14. That's going to be a play that is made by Escobar. Throws to first, and that's going to get them out of the inning. Wow, skating close there. But Actor gets through that. Bottom of the 8th now. Still 3-3. And let's see. Blue Jays have to bring out another pen arm. Let's see. They got Pujols, Calhoun, and Perez. They're going to go with Danny Barnes. So Bautista will stay in right. Let's see if I can. So he's a 4-0 E4. And they will put Barnes in that spot there. Barnes, he's a 1 injury guy, and all right. It stinks having to use him, but man, I'll tell you what, it's just foresee a potential long game, and they want to try and get the long reliever in there if possible. So let's see. It's tough to see his card. I'll lift it up when it's time. And so let me see. I got to put this back here. All right, so Pujols will go up against Danny Barnes. Big spot for this recent call-up to replace Gavin Floyd. So the righty Barnes against the righty Pujols. 3-9, and that's going to be a hit to start. 1-6 double, and it is a 4. The Angels have this D20 going their way. That's going to bring up Cole Calhoun with a runner at second and nobody out. 6-8 against a lefty. And that's a walk, which isn't a terrible result, but it's going to bring up Carlos Perez. Perez, they're going to play with the corners in. He's going to bunt, a B bunter here. Sack bunt and a 7. So sacrifice bunt with a B7 is a good sacrifice. It's going to move both runners up. 6-4. As I should say 6-3 as Encarnacion backs up. So that's going to bring Cliff Pennington to the plate. He got a single his last time up. Second and third. They will play with the infield in here. They're going to try to cut the runoff at home. 4-4. He's batting from the left side. And that is a ballpark single chance. If you could see that, that's what this little greater than sign means. And that's a 1-2. Now, if they get a 1 or a 2 here, then I think it's almost a foregone conclusion what's going to happen here. It's a 9. That's going to be a line out right at, let's see, he's batting from the left, right at the second baseman, Goins. And that's a big second out. They can move the infield back. They are going to face Choi here. They don't want to deal with Andrelton Simmons. 2 outs. Playing back. Looking for an out. 3-9. Oh, and it's a 2 on the D20. Got to see if it's a balk or a wild pitch, or a passed ball chance, excuse me. Passed ball, Russell Martin is a 3. And a 14 will not do it. So here we go again. Re-roll the D6s. 2 outs, second and third. 4-7 against a lefty. And that's a ground ball to first base. And Encarnacion takes to the bag. And another bit of wonder work from the Toronto bullpen getting out of a jam. We're going to go to the 9th. It's still 3-3. Pine Tar Baseball. So there's a lot of moving parts here. I know this is in super advanced. It gets pretty involved, and so let's reset this. It's the top of the 9th. You had runs in the first inning and the second inning for the Blue Jays and the Angels to make it 1-1, and then up to the 6th inning, then Toronto gets 2 on an Ezekiel Carrera home run. It scored Russell Martin as well. That made it 3-1. But then the A's responded, or the Angels, excuse me, not the A's. The Angels responded in the bottom of the 7th with a 2-run home run from Ji-Man Choi, who pinch hit. And so that's where we stand. Danny Barnes just got out at the bottom of the 8th. A.J. Actor will be back in and try to pitch the 9th here to the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th hitters for Toronto. It's going to be Goins, Donaldson, and Encarnacion. So here we go. 1-8. That's a ground ball to first. And Pujols gets to the bag first. 1 down. Josh Donaldson. He is 0 for 1. He has an RBI on a sac fly and 2 walks. 2-8. 2-8. And that is a single. Blue Jays in business. So it brings up Edwin Encarnacion. And the pitch, 5-7 against a righty. 5-7, a walk, runner in scoring position. First and second, 1 out. And it's going to bring up Tulowitzki. And this is Actor's game to lose at this point. They're going to let him try to work out of this like the Blue Jays pen did. Tulowitzki against Actor. 5-12 against a righty. Ground ball back to Actor. He's a 3-E-0. Could it be a double play? But it's a 3. A 3 and a 3 on the pitcher's card. That could be real trouble. 3 and a 3. That's a one base advance single. And then a 9 with an E. No, there's this E0. Just a single. It's going to load the bases. And that means that Actor is tired. And so the Angels will go with let's see who's coming up. Saunders, a lefty. They're going to go with Jose Alvarez at this point. They tried to get Actor through another inning, and they need to get him out of there because he is tired. So we will have a slight break in the action as we make the pitching change. Let's see, Choi was the last one, but they are so short on bench hands here that... So they're going to go with Alvarez. And he is a 1. Actor goes 1 1/3. All right. So Jose Alvarez. And I think from there they might go to Houston Street, who was their closer at the time. Bases are loaded. They're going to move the infield in against Michael Saunders. Lefty. 2-9. Struck him out. Big strikeout for Jose Alvarez. 2 down, and Russell Martin now. They're going to leave him in here against Martin. 2 down. Bases loaded. Infield back now. 3-7. Struck him out. 2 strikeouts for Alvarez, and we're going to go to the bottom of the 9th. The Angels work their way out of the bases loaded jam. And, wow, this game has been about missed opportunities, hasn't it? Let's see, the Blue Jays. Let's see, they are going to have to eat into their bullpen a bit here. Let's see, what do they got? So they got Simmons, Escobar, and then the pitcher spot. So they got righty. They're going to go with Drew Storen. They may have to pull up a bullpen arm here in the before next game. We'll see. Storen, I think he went to Seattle. He is a 2 injury. Barnes went 1 inning. And so we're going to go to the bottom of the 9th here. Drew Storen will try and keep the Blue Jays in this game, and Drelton Simmons will lead off. What do we got here in the chat? What do we got here? Come with a PDF download. You guys are talking about. Well, I'm glad you guys are having a nice chat. I hope. I know that's. I would just as soon that be your focus as this, but we've got a pretty good game going here too. So hopefully we'll see what happens here. We've got what is it, 9:30 already? Man, it is getting late. And Drelton Simmons against Drew Storen. 1-7 against ready. Ground ball to second base. 4-3, 1 out. Hi, Larry. I don't know how Tabletop is doing, but I don't know if he was planning to play a game tonight or not. Here's Yunel Escobar. 3-6. Fly ball to left. Wonder if this is going to be our first extra inning game. They are going to pinch hit with the only position player they have remaining on the bench, Giovanni Soto. Or are they? No, they already announced him. So here we go. Soto. Let me see something. Well, yeah, we can work with that. So Soto, 2 down against Storen. 2-7. Oh no. Oh, that's just the time for that. Ground ball, shortstop, A+ injury. I was gonna use Soto as, I forgot to mark it down here. I was gonna use him as catcher or as third base and put in the pitcher in Escobar's spot, but so we got to roll the injury roll. And a 5 means he is injured for the remainder of this game only. So he cannot keep going. So they are going to bring in a bullpen hand. They're going to go with Houston Street here. So Storen goes 1, 2, 3. We're going to the 10th. Alvarez, he did go 2/3 of an inning, 2 batters. But they pinch hit for him, so it's going to be Houston Street. Street is a 6, so he can, a 6-7 is gonna mean problems. All right, and he is going to pitch. Now let's see. All right, so Street into the game. Top of the 10th. And it's going to be Kevin Pillar, first man he faces. 5-4 against a righty, ground ball to short. That's going to be Simmons, 1E14. And that's a 10. So a 15 on the 1 is no problem. It's the shortstop, 14 and a 10. And that's a good play. So first out. So let's see. So we've got, let's see. Another pinch hitter here. They got Tolley. I guess we're going to go with Chris Colabello here. He gets rung up on a... He gets rung up on a steroid thing, and I don't think he plays again in the season after he goes there. But we will use him until he is ruled out. So Colabello. 5-6 against a righty. Weak power for Colabello against righties. This is going to be a single almost certainly. Boy, that would... If I had picked Barney, he's weak too. Totally is weak. They're all weak. Wouldn't need to save Bautista for that. Alright, but it's a 1-18 single. And he does get a pinch hit single. And so that brings up Jose Bautista in his second at bat. He grounded out the third last time up. What's he going to do with this one? 1 on the D20 overrules the roll. That is a wild pitch roll, and Houston Street does not throw a wild pitch in this season. So Bautista gets to re-roll this guy. 1-8, strikes out, 2 down. Ryan Goins. Colabello not going anywhere. Not holding him on. 1-7. And that's a ground ball to short. And they're just going to throw to first. So we're here with some free baseball. And Houston Street takes care of the side in that one. And they will continue on with the pitcher spot being in the same spot, and they will have to bring out another one. Well, the only guy that left that they didn't, well, they didn't use Osuna or Cecil, but they're going to use Brett Cecil here. He is a lefty, and he's going to have to face Trout and Pujols, but eventually we've got to get to these guys, and so Storin went 1 inning. Bottom of the 11th. We may have to cut into the starting pitchers. Who have relief ratings. So lefty Cecil against Mike Trout. 5-7 against a righty. Struck him out. 0 for 5 for Mike Trout. How about that? Albert Pujols. 2-8. And a fly ball to center. That's the second out. Cole Calhoun. 4-11 against the lefty. Ballpark home run chance 1-6. Calhoun does have normal power. 1-6 and the ball game is over. Does it have enough? And no, it does not. That's going to fall short. That's going to be a fly ball, deep fly ball that is caught by Bautista. We're going to go to the 11th. Houston Street will pitch another inning here. So we're going to the 11th. It's going to be Donaldson. Donaldson is 1 for 2. Then Encarnacion, then Tulowitzki against Houston Street. 3-6. Struck him out. 2 strikeouts for Houston Street now. End with Encarnacion. 6-10. Now Houston Street's so he needs a 6-7, but a 6-10 against a righty. Ground ball to third base. That is Yaniel Escobar. 4E25. 4-1 for the third baseman. That is a single. And then a 6 on the E25. And that is a one-base error. So a single one and an error. So runner to second, single, and then an E5 means that Encarnacion is at second. And that brings up Tulowitzki with a chance to drive him home. And that is 3-4. 3-4, and there's not 2 outs, so that is a single to left. Let's see, Encarnacion is... He is an 11. He was not being held on, makes him 12. Left fielder is Choi. Choi plus 2. 11, so 12. 13, 14. They're going to send Encarnacion with 1 out. 1-14 chance. They're going to throw home. Tulowitzki will move to second on the throw. And it's a 13. He is safe. And an RBI single for Tulowitzki, and he moves up to second on the fielder's choice. It is now 4-3, Toronto in the lead. Brings up Michael Saunders, runner at second. 1 away. 4-9 against the lefty. Fly ball to center field. That's the second out as Trout gets that 2 down. Russell Martin. 4-9 against a righty this time. Another ballpark home run chance. 1-6. And that is going to be a fly ball out that is caught by Choi, who could not get the throw home in time. And it is now a 4-3 ball game. And the Blue Jays will call on Roberto Osuna to try and save this. And we are getting to... We're getting down to brass tacks here as far as my... I need 7 lines. All right. So so we got P6 and now P7. For pitcher 7, it's going to be Roberto Osuna to face Perez, and they don't have any opportunity to pinch hit for any of these guys. So we'll see if there's any magic to be had by the Angels. They got these rally caps on again. Carlos Perez against Roberto Osuna, looking to close this out. 2-8. Fly ball to left. That'll be 1 out. Cliff Pennington is hung up there again. 4-6 against... So he's batting from the left. 4-6. That could be a double. 1-17 is a double. That would move the tying run into scoring position, and it is. Ji-Man Choi with a chance to possibly tie this ball game with a single against Roberto Osuna, looking for the save here in the 11th. 5, so he's a lefty. 5-9. Struck him out. 2 down. It's going to bring up Andrelton Simmons. He's 0 for 1 so far. Last chance saloon for the A's, or it will be a victory for the Blue Jays. Here we go. 4-6 against a righty. 1-8 single would make it first and third. Still some nail biting here to be done at Angel Stadium. 1-8, and the ball game is over. He lines out. It is caught by Josh Donaldson, and that is it. 4-3 is your final here. The Blue Jays hold on. Pressure-packed game. The win will go to Brett Cecil. The loss to Houston Street. And the save for Roberto Osuna as the hero of the game, singled by Troy Tulowitzki, scores Edwin Encarnacion, and that is your game-winning hit. Let's see. Dave S. Was... Whew. Oh, my. I'll tell you what. As much as I love the Phillies, and that replay, I don't know. I get so into these games. I feel like it's, well, it is. It's doubly intense because you're managing for both teams. You don't want to make a mistake for anybody. You know, I brought in Soto to pinch hit there. I'm thinking, okay, well, he'll play third. We'd have to put the pitcher spot in at where Escobar is. But then he gets hurt, and then he just has to sit out the rest of the game, which is no problem. He'll probably start the next one if we get a rest roll that brings up the catcher slot, because he'll probably play there. But whew, man, I will tell you, that is this game and doing videos with Super Advanced. I'll tell you, I would feel the same way with History Maker, because I've played a few games with that, and it's just you're constantly thinking, and I mean, I love that in a game. I love having to think through and weigh your options, and it's just very awesome to do. But you get done with it, and number one is that you say to yourself, man, I'm narrating this for people, which is great, but I'm also, you know, you almost feel like you're pushing yourself to the limit with these games, which is awesome, but it's also, it leaves you feeling like, man, I'm ready for bed. I should have had another Mountain Dew, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, that was fun. That was a heck of a game. The first, I can't remember if I had an extra inning game in the Phillies replay. I'm thinking no. So if that's the case, this is the first extra inning game I've had in Super Advanced, and that makes it even more tense. So, but no complaints, no complaining. Just it's a feeling like you just don't get with very many things in the world. The suspense, the intensity, and you're just gonna love it. So let's check the comments here real quick before I wrap it up. When I play History Maker Baseball, do I use manager cards? Well, I haven't played it enough to... I've only played a few games, and I've only played by myself. So, I think... Now, one of the things that's my next step with that game is I'm probably going to develop a league similar to this one and similar to the one I did before, but with that game, because I really feel like that game hits on some things that I'm trying to do with this, but there's really no mechanism for them to do it, like all of the psychological components, the mood in the clubhouse, the hot and cold players. I feel like that really allows you to build a narrative throughout the season, as opposed to this, which is, I'm trying to sort of build a narrative where I'm bringing in players, taking out players that are injured, bringing in players to fill those gaps. I feel like History Maker Baseball does I don't know. The injuries in this game are gonna they bring it out some in this, but I forgot to write this down. Soto remaining, yeah. So we don't need to worry about him. But yeah, you have these manager cards, and they allow you to do some specific, like add some specific attributes, or change an attribute for a guy who's been in for a while or something like that, which I think is intriguing. And once I get used to playing it and learning when to use those and stuff, I'll probably use those. And I would use them in a season if I were to play a season simulation. But I haven't yet, just because I haven't played it much. Hi, Marvin. See you later. Well, yeah, I guess I kept you around here for a little while, Marvin, so, time to get a hold of yourself. anyway, I'll leave it at that. So, all right. Toronto wins 4-3. These teams are 1-1. Level playing field. I'm guessing tomorrow morning I will do Pittsburgh, San Diego. Whether I do it online or not, we'll see. Oh, man. Good night, everybody. I love you all. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad you guys are having fun. I see I have almost 300 comments in the room here, which is awesome. I know you guys are enjoying yourselves, interacting. I'm trying to be as interactive as I can. I'm getting the hang of it, but just be patient. So, good night, guys. Sleep well. Strat on. And thanks for watching. And it's really been a pleasure.